exactly what he's saying. And instead of pointing out the way that TPUSA has been bankrolled by Republican mega donors out of Chicago and many other places for years now, and talking about how the Daily Wire was funded by the fracking brothers, the Wilkes brothers. Now they're fishing for new, investors, whatnot, but that there is so much money on the right. He handed this answer to you on a fucking platter. And
going on, you guys, today we're going to be talking about Francesca Fiorientini completely destroying Cenk Uygur on her stream. She is calling him out for his hypocrisy, for his, it seems like he's placating to the right, and she has had enough of it. Francesca Fiorientini absolutely destroys Cenk Uygur. Let's watch.
Overall, the massive MAGA is anti-immigration, and I obviously don't agree with them on that. I'm an immigrant, and I'm first generation. I wasn't even born here, right? So all this talk of deportations, and now this crazy thing that one of them came out with, denaturalizing people, that's just nuts, right? So, and I say that to their face in all the shows that I go on. I go, look, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. I think you're nuts on this, right? But now we do agree on some things, anti-war, anti-corruption, etc. Even if I know, guys, I know Trump is massively corrupt, and they've been misdirected. But within that chaos of the right wing, interesting different coalitions can break out, as you're seeing today with these different coalitions within MAGA. Yeah. So imagine if we had, this is really wild, right? But you've got to take a first step to be able to get to this ultimate conclusion. Imagine if we had voting blocks that weren't strictly Republican or Democrat or strictly MAGA or not, and we could then join the voting block, in this case with Vivek and Ilan, and protect these visas, right? Or in another case, we could join the populist right-wing bloc and prevent a war.
So right here we see Cenk Uygur. It appears that he's sort of scrambling for words. He's not knowing what to say at this moment. He doesn't know what side to appease. He's going from one side to another. He doesn't know exactly what he wants. He's at the TPUSA, and now he's in front of Francesca Fiorientini, and he is clueless on what his talking points are. His talking points at this point for him is, how can I be a celebrity? How can I get the most notoriety? How can I be seen by so many people? And Francesca Fiorientini sees straight through this, and she takes him down in such a great way.
Again, those are like huge dreams.
Right? I think it's sort of a deal with the devil either way. I do want to just step back. I want to step back from the news a little bit and truly understand what you believe you are doing and who you believe you represent. Just really briefly, who you believe you represent when you go on these shows. You say we a lot, and I'm not sure who you are referring to when you say we. Is it yourself? Is it you? And is it Anna and you and Anna? Is it all of TYT? Is it the broader left? Who do you think you represent when you go on these shows to make the case about how there's commonality?
Yeah. So great question again. So first off, for folks who don't know, Young Turks is the flagship show of the TYT network. So the TYT network is the whole left. So Franny's on the TYT network. This show's on the TYT network, and at least on the podcasting side. And so Franny is to the left of me on many issues. So is Jordan Ewell. So is so many other people, right? And so I never block anyone from stating their opinions. And I like that we have the whole range, right? And in the past, we've had David Pakman as part of the net, like the YouTube network broadly.
But who's the we, Cenk? Who's the we? You've said these things before, and I have thoughts on them. But who's the we?
So that's TYT. TYT is that whole spectrum of left wing thought. And as you know, Franny, we debate on the show all the time.
We don't. We really I just want to be fair. We don't. Because if we did, we would have had this conversation many, many times, but we don't. Number one, I am not the main host. Anna Kasparian is. Number two, I am rarely the fill-in host. Jordan Ewell has been filling in quite.
He's getting caught up. You see that he almost looks like he's about to cry. He doesn't know what to do. He answered her in a way where he just talked completely past her. He was explaining who the Young Turks were. He was almost talking to an audience. When she was asking him a personal question, who do you represent? Do you believe that you're what do you even represent is probably, what he doesn't even know the answer to. What do you represent? He's wanting to cover so many different bases, and now he's wanting to cover the right and appease the right. He doesn't know what he's even standing for, much less who he's standing for.
frequently. Number three, when I do fill in as a host or as a guest, it depending on the story is when we can actually sometimes maybe squeeze in 1 or 3 minutes of debate, but we have to keep it moving. That is the job. The job is to do the news. It's to get to all the different things. So I just want to say that it's very unfair to say that these debates have happened on the main show. Certainly not with me, maybe once around trans issues, but I want to leave that aside. Who is we? Who are you saying when you say we?
Okay, but let me address that real quick. But yes, but I've gotten into so first of all, we do the news, so we debate within that news story. Is it a shorter period of time? Yes. Sometimes I'll do longer ones. I did a longer one with Jordan Yule and Jules Sulzdayev, et cetera, and here we are within the network, et cetera. So now that's TYT is the left in general. Young Turks is the flagship show. That's me and Anna, and so. I would say that we, as in me and Anna, are maximum populist, but not maximum left, right? So I am maximum left on some issues, but not all issues. And so those are two different political spectrums. There's the left-right spectrum and the establishment populist spectrum. I mean, I now see Emma Vigeland defending the establishment, which is mind-blowing.
Ari, I want to leave that aside, but I just want to, because I really want to talk about what you are doing and what you believe you are doing. And I want to just explain, by showing, and I want to ask you what you think the goal is of what you are doing. But here was a moment where you were on TPUSA's on Turning Point USA's conference, and Charlie Kirk, who is a Christian nationalist, he's an avowed Christian nationalist. TPUSA has had wildly racist and white supremacists associated with them, including inviting people like Nick Fuentes to speak. No matter what you think of his thoughts on BlackRock, here is him asking you about left media. And I gotta say,
by the way, guys, if you like this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more topics like these.
Cenk, this one sucked real hard for me. And you also, I think, have been using these opportunities to talk a lot about the left to the right.
I think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks.
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT that's in the left-wing ecosystem.
I just want to stop and say I'm excited to hear which ones you like, given that you just sort of insulted Emma Vigeland just now. I'm curious which ones you actually do still support that aren't your own, but I'm going to keep going, Cenk. Hang on.
So I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing. Okay, so you do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming.
And right here, Cenk Uygur completely abandons everything, wanting to find commonalities with the right, as Francesca Fiorientini had mentioned. He's after Charlie Kirk had said, the left already has a weak standing and weak media. He goes and he immediately starts complimenting the right. He starts going, and what is he doing? What's his side? Who is he talking to right now? Who is he standing for? What is he trying to say right now besides, please pick me, please like me, please love me? Come on, Cenk. You are letting everyone down, Francesca Fiorientini included.
If I'm being honest.
We're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
And a lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right?
Okay, so there you are, and
Yeah, love it. Stick with 100% of what I just said there. I'm 100% right about that. So let's discuss.
Yeah, let's discuss. You had your say there, and you've been saying various degrees of that same thing. And I gotta say, I watched this whole, I watched the whole clip, and it started off, and I was like, this is pretty good. This is good. Pretty good interview. I like that you're sitting down. It wasn't bad. This moment, like, truly a part of me died when I watched this.
Wow, I can't
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Super. Just like shriveled up and died, floated away into the ocean. Here's what happens. Couple things. He asks you about left-wing media and why there isn't more left-wing media. Which already, as you are there, you know, in the sort of kingdom of turning points, is like, that's such a dig. Like, why are you guys so weak? Is effectively what he's saying. And instead of pointing out the way that TPUSA has been bankrolled by Republican mega donors out of Chicago and many other places for years now, and talking about how the Daily Wire was funded by the fracking brothers, the Wilkes brothers. Now they're fishing for new, you know, investors, whatnot, but that there is so much money on the right. He handed this answer to you on a fucking platter, and all you said was, you know what? You guys are really good at being welcoming. People just like you. Cenk, they've got all the money.
I didn't say people just
what are
like
you
me. That's very
talking about?
different.
That's effectively what you're good at coalescing. And here's my question to you about so that's just number one on the media, because that just stings.
As we can see, Francesca Fiorientini completely had her way with Cenk Uygur. He didn't know what to say. It seemed like he was almost lost for words. The tensions between Francesca Fiorientini and Cenk Uygur seem to be rising by the day. This seems like it's almost an issue out of Cenk Uygur's hands, and he really needs to listen to what Francesca Fiorientini is saying on picking a side, on choosing the side that you decide to talk for, decide to speak for in the first place. That now you're wanting to switch sides and sort of play nice with, you know, this what you've been calling out for so long. Francesca Fiorientini is now sort of offering Cenk Uygur to come back to his own self, to come back to what the Young Turks was originally about in the first place. But will Cenk listen? Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who's right? Who's wrong? Obviously, I believe that Francesca Fiorientini is right. But, yep, thank you.